All right, guys, let's try some 1-point perspective applied. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in my horizon line. Just going to put that, I don't want to put it right in the middle. I'm going to give myself a little space. I'm going to put it up about 2/3 up. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to choose a vanishing point, and I think I'll have it a little on the side again just to give myself some space. So not straight in the middle. Now, I think I'll try to design like a little neighborhood or a city block. So let's put in the first street that we're looking straight down. So I'm just going to do a couple of lines out. Now this is the street that we're standing in the middle of looking straight down, okay? I'm not going to draw it all the way down to the edges. In fact, what I'll do is I will have it come straight out, so it's almost like a four-way stop. Just connect that so it looks good. All right, there's my street, and here's the other street. Okay, now we're going to put some buildings in here. I think I'll just start in the corner here. So what I'm going to do is, instead of putting it right on the street, we always have to think there's going to be a little bit of a sidewalk. So why don't we actually draw in the sidewalk first? So I'm just going to double up on my lines here. So do exactly what I just did, but twice. And then I kind of want to keep it even, so let me use this measurement to come over here. For this exercise, I'm just going to eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, that's going to be my sidewalk. Now we'll do the building, and the building can come up right from the sidewalk. So when we were doing 1-point perspective boxes, we started by creating a box, right? That one side that faces us completely. So I'm going to take this as the bottom part of the box and just kind of add it along here. Okay, so there's that square that I have to connect, right, to the vanishing point. Now, it's already connected, luckily, from here, but I have to connect from here and here as well. Now, do I have to connect from here? What do you think? No, because I don't think this building is going to be made of glass and see-through, okay? It's a solid building, so we don't see through it, so I don't have to do one from here. But from here and here, yeah, definitely. And these lines, I'm going to make a little bit lighter. Well, I'm going to make some of it solid, but eventually going back to the vanishing point will be a little bit lighter. This one as well, solid, and then a little bit lighter. Okay, now I will go ahead and put my sides on. So I'm going to do my trick where I line up here to the original line and then just bring it back right there. And the same for the roof, down and back. So we've made a cube. Okay, now this is my building. It's a very simple building, obviously. We could get a little bit fancier with it, but for now, let's just keep it simple. But I do need to put a door and some windows on the front here. Now, we need to remember that all the vertical lines, the ones that just go straight up, right? Those ones are all going to be the same. So we don't have to worry about any kind of perspective or vanishing point when we're doing our vertical lines. Those just go straight up. So I can put a couple of those, and I did the same trick. I lined it up and went like this and like that, right, to do those. But the top and bottom are connected to the vanishing point. So if you look and see that the bottom of your door is attached to the vanishing point, then you know that the top should be as well. So I'm going to add that line, and I'm not going to go all the way to the vanishing point for that. I'll just make the line across there. Okay? So there's my door. Okay, it's a really silly looking door, but you guys get the point. Let's put a window in. Now the sides of my window are parallel to the sides of the building, so straight up and down. Don't need to worry about perspective. okay? But the top and bottom, they will be in perspective. So lining up to my vanishing point, and I kind of have to decide which line I want to go with here. And then the top lines up with the perspective. Okay. Now if there are little panes in the glass, the ones that go up and down, those are just up and down straight, just like the sides. What a terrible eraser. But again, any horizontal lines are going to be connected to the vanishing point. And just a little trick when you're trying to make something look like glass, if you just put a few little lines in, it looks like a little reflection in the glass. Okay. Now, on this side, because everything is facing us, right, we don't have to worry about perspective. So any windows that we do here are just going to be parallel. All four sides are going to be parallel to the four sides of the building that we have already made. So I can line up my ruler and pop in a few windows if I wanted to, without any worries about vanishing point. Okay. Now everything that I add to this is going to follow the same rules. If I make a building over here, if I put in a fence, a balcony, anything is going to apply to these same rules, okay? If I do it on this side, I don't have to worry about vanishing point. Everything is just straight horizontal vertical lines. If I go on this side though, then the top and bottom of all my lines need to connect to my vanishing point, okay? Now, let's play around with the same sort of stuff. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to start again with that box, and it'll get cut off because I want to show you guys a little something. Actually, you know what? Let's not cut it off. Let's pretend that it's just a really super tall, skinny building. All right, and now we're going to connect to the vanishing point. So this one's already connected, but we got to connect here and here. I'm going to do this lightly because I want to show you guys something. So far, we've done these flat roofs, right? But we're going to change that in a second. So let me put my sides on. I'm going to line up my ruler, pull it back. There's the side, and there's the roof. Okay, now this is a flat roof, but what if I want a pointy roof? Okay. It would look something like this. But here's the thing, we need to find the middle of this wall right here. But because it's in perspective, it's kind of screwy. It gets kind of changed, so what looks like it would be the middle of just the line isn't really the middle of the wall, if that makes sense. So in order to find the middle of a wall or something that's in perspective, what you have to do is this little trick right here. You're going to make an X from corner to corner, very lightly, okay, and that shows you where the middle point is. So if you then have a nice straight vertical line upwards from there, it shows you that your middle point is somewhere along this line right here. So depending on how high you want that angle to go, choose a spot on this line. If you want it really steep, you can go all the way at the top. If you want it to be subtle, you can go up here. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. I'm going to choose a spot right there. Okay, and then all I have to do is connect to the corners of my building. From here to there, and from here to there with no vanishing point required. Okay, so there we have a nice arched roof, and this will go straight back, straight across, and then connect again to the back. So we can do that without worrying about the vanishing point, okay? And then again, any windows, doors, things like that will all be in perspective. So what I want you to do is add a few more things, maybe a few more buildings, a couple more windows, doors, stuff like that. Make it a little bit interesting. Don't take too long with this. Just prove to me that you know what you're doing, okay? All right. while you're doing that, I'm just going to do one tall building right here in case you want to see how that looks. So if I'm going to do a tall building next to here, I need to come up higher. So I'm going to take my original corner, go up further up, same with this. So we're basically creating another square behind here. This corner is already connected to our vanishing point, but these two need to be 1 and 2. Okay, and then maybe we just have one tiny but very tall building right there. And so on, okay? And then down the street we could put road like that. Okay, so you can kind of have fun with it. All right, go for it.